All right, guys. So this is going to be my overall impressions of the Diablo 4 beta. I played it both weekends now. I think I'm done playing the game, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts, my pros, cons, everything that I can just think of when it comes to the game. There are going to be times where it might sound like I'm being too harsh, but I'm just giving honest, constructive criticism here. So let's talk about the game. It releases in June 6th. And I believe if you pre order the Ultimate Edition, you get to play it 4 days early. You can say whatever you want about that, but it is what it is at this point. So, in terms of changes, we're not going to see massive changes when this game drops in June. I can assume that the game is pretty much done at this point. Obviously, we've only seen Act 1, the frozen peaks or whatever. And, obviously we didn't play the other acts, but I can assume that the game is done at this point. Animation, skills, the way the game looks, those things are not going to change, okay? They might be able to tweak things here and there. This is where the criticisms and feedback is appreciated, and we're pretty much all Q&A testers right now for this beta because we are hopefully going to make this game better by playing this beta, stress testing it, and giving our feedback. But in terms of changes, like animations and skills and stuff like that, the way the game looks, that's pretty much what the game is going to look like when the game drops, okay? Now, can they buff and nerf characters? Can they buff and nerf some skills, tweak things here and there? Absolutely, and I think that's what they're going to do in this beta. Because I played as a barbarian, and I had a blast, by the way, as a barbarian, but I felt like there was something that, that was missing playing as a barbarian. Because when I jumped on my sorceress, I was just completely annihilating everything. I didn't even have necessarily a strong build like some other people did online, with their legendary items and all that stuff. Like, I just had an okay build, and I was running around with Hydra and Blizzard, and the teleport is amazing because you might get stuck somewhere and you can just dash out of there. There's so many things that you can do as a sorceress, which makes the character so much better to play, especially from 1 to 25. Now, there are people that are saying, well, the barbarian might be better, down the road. Well, that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to play a character that's going to get better, when you hit level 30 or 50 or whatever. I want to play a character that I'm having fun with throughout every level. And that's the problem with the druid right now. The druid is probably the weakest class in the game. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to changes and tweaks. I can see them implementing changes to balance the characters out where you're not going to feel like you're weak when you want to play the class that you chose, despite what character you choose. It shouldn't be, oh, the sorceress is the strongest or the necromancer is the strongest. No, like, I should be able to play the druid, level to 25, have an amazing time doing it, and feel like I am being rewarded and having fun. So with that said, in the next 2 months, I really hope that they take our feedback, they, implement some of these changes, and do their best in creating an amazing experience for every character, for every class, and go from there. Now, moving on to what I really think the game does an outstanding job in, and that has to be just the atmosphere, the world. Obviously, again, we only saw one zone, but that zone just looks amazing. It has verticality. It has so much detail. if you take a moment to zoom into your character, you can see the detail. You can see the detail in your character when you're equipping cool items, and the way your character just looks on screen, whether it's in your inventory or you're transmogging. The game just looks fucking beautiful. It looks phenomenal. It's probably the best looking ARPG out there. And they did just a wonderful job. Graphics, visuals, atmosphere, tone. This is beautiful. And I'm so happy with it. Like, I think they just nailed what Diablo is supposed to look like. Gameplay. Gameplay is so good. Even if you're playing a weak class, skills, animation, movement, everything just feels good. Everything feels crispy. You can tell they really took their time in creating just that gameplay where it feels satisfying. I didn't want to stop playing the beta. And I got to a point where I played the shit out of the beta. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've seen and I've done everything that I can do. It's probably a good place to stop and wait for the game to drop. And it was still hard for me to detach myself from the game because the gameplay is so much fun. Killing enemies, doing all of that, it's there. And to be honest, Blizzard always kills this part in every game. I feel like the gameplay is always there in every Blizzard game. So I'm not surprised that the gameplay here is really, really good. Now, I did test it on the PS5. And I play a ton of Diablo 2 on PS5. Just because it feels really great with the controller. Like Diablo 4 is no different. It feels amazing with the controller. So if you want to play Diablo 4 on console, more power to you. But I will say this. The experience on PC is going to be better. It's going to be the most definitive way to play Diablo 4. The same way I've stated in the past about Diablo 2. Because it's going to be nice when you have a keyboard. Even if you play controller on PC, it's going to be nice to have a keyboard. You're going to be able to chat really quickly with people. And Diablo is one of those games that you're going to see other players out in the world. And you want to chat with people. You might see a guy next to you. And it's as easy as hitting the chat and be like, hey man, you want to trade? I got some items for you. And you go into the trade. You don't need a headset. You don't need a mic. And Diablo's designed that way. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I think Diablo just works perfectly great on PC. It was designed for PC. Now you can play Diablo 4 on console with your buddies, by yourself, with a controller. Gonna have a blast. The game looks awesome on console. I played it on the PS5. But I will be playing this game on PC. One thing to note, too, that stood out to me like a sore thumb was that in Diablo 4 on console, when you pop your inventory open, you can't move your items around. You can only sort them, which is a huge miss. I don't understand this. And it almost tells me that this game is going for more of a casual approach when it comes to console when I see things like this. Because on PC, you can just open your inventory up and move things around and you're fine. But you can't do that on console. Unless I'm missing something, you can't move your items around, which I think is a huge, huge miss here. And I hope they fix that, change that, because I don't understand that. Let's talk about gear really quickly. Since we're on the topic of inventory, I don't like the fact that a ring takes up the same amount of spots as a chest piece or a scythe or a double-handed sword. Like, a ring is the same size as those. It takes up two little boxes. Why? The majority of items are like the same sizes, and I don't understand this. Keep it simple. Keep it the way it was on Diablo 2. You know, every item has its significance, its size. They kind of want to make everything equally the same in the inventory system. I don't know how I feel about that. It just doesn't really work really well, in my opinion. I had a blast with this game. I think it's a tease. It's a good sample of what we're going to get. And I think we got a good amount of the game. Like I said in the beginning, this game is pretty much done. Like everything we're seeing and looking at, we're looking at the game. And I really hope that on day one, we get a smooth launch. We probably won't, though. The first day is going to be rough. But I'll be honest here, and I got to give credit where credit is due. Every Friday, both Fridays have been rough. But when it came to Saturday and Sunday, the game was smooth. So if they can give us that at least, I'll be more than happy. You know, first day's a little rough. The next days get better. Overall, I think Diablo 4 is shaping up to be something incredible as long as they continue to take the feedback, implement changes, grow this game into something better and better down the months and years. And I think this game will have long legs. The cinematics, the fact that you can create a character and he's in the cinematics, I think that's super cool. Like, I love that. You have the full-blown, high budget cinematics in the game, and then you have, the mid-tier where your character is in the cinematics, and I think that's really cool. There's really, really cool, just character representation in the game. You can create, a cool-looking character, male or female. The druids are some big boys, though. And, yeah. I'm excited for this game. I don't want to get too into the spells and the builds and stuff like that, because I didn't even get crazy into them, and I'm sure there's a bunch of content creators out there that can, go in depth. And there are a lot of people that are creating these build videos, and I don't really see the point, because this is just a beta, and I guarantee you a lot of this stuff is going to change. So to create a build and say, hey, this is this is how this build works. Like, your characters are going to get wiped. You're going to play from, level 1 on day 1, and none of this is going to matter. There's going to be tweaks, changes, and bounces, I guarantee you, for every class. So none of these builds are going to be viable, I think, for the most part. I still think, like, some, spells like Blizzard and Hydra and stuff like that are still going to be pretty OP and good. But, yeah, I can't wait for this game. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's going to be a long 2 months. I will say this, though. I really hope that down the road we're not going to see, pay to win stuff, because I'm already not a big fan of the battle pass and all that stuff. Seasons are fine if they do it right, because I never looked at Diablo as, this battle pass thing, and I know that, games like this have to evolve. You got PoE out there. You got all these other games that are just, I guess you can say, evolving the ARPG. And I mean, I don't know. I've never played PoE, so I can't speak for myself. But Diablo has always been one of those ARPGs that a lot of people play alone. Like, a lot of people play single player. I know a lot of people that still play Diablo 2 single player. And I'm okay with Diablo going open world. I'm actually really excited about that. I'm happy that it's this shared space, light MMO-ish. But I really hope that they don't screw up this game in terms of, buy this, buy that. Like, the whole point of Diablo is like you're supposed to find your own loot. You're supposed to, build your character as you play. And this is one of the things that I hated about Diablo 3 when it first launched, the auction house. It completely defeated the purpose of why we play Diablo games in the first place. Incorporating mechanics where it's harder to find gear only for you to go and buy it. Like, come on, man. That's not even Diablo. So I hope they don't shy too far away from what the foundation of these games are. And I just don't want to see this game get ruined the way, Diablo Immortal does. And I know that they've stated that there's not going to be pay to win, but they can still implement shady things down the road. They'll launch it at a great state. Everybody loves it. And then, they slowly start creeping up things. I really hope that they don't do that. And that's really my only concern. Because like I said before, all the other stuff, tweaks, balances, I'm sure, they'll find a way to make those things work and feel great. Just don't screw it up, and you'll have something special. That's my opinion. But that pretty much wraps up the video, guys. I don't want to talk too much here. I'm just really excited for Diablo 4. This was really kind of my first my feedback on the overall experience. I had a blast. And I can't wait for June 6th. Probably be playing it 4 days early because I got the ultimate. But anyways, hope you guys like this video. Drop a like. Consider subscribing. And I hope you have a great day.